Hey guys, welcome to another episode of SliderCuts Shaping Up Culture. And today's episode is social credit. Now, I know some of you are asking, what is social credit? Well, social credit is very similar to your official credit score. You know your credit score when you go onto whether it's Credit Expert, Credit Experience, whatever it is, and you check out your credit. Social credit is very similar, but it's to do with you and your peers, among your peers. What is your social credit score? And today I want to talk about the importance of your social credit score, because it can be just as important as your quote unquote official credit score. What is your social credit score? And what is your official credit score? Answer. No interaction, guys. Answer the question. What is your official credit score? And what do you think your social credit score is among your peers? If people were to talk about you when it comes in regards to borrowing money, or for them lending money to you, financing things to you, like, buy something off me now and pay me over 6 to 12 payments, or being middleman in a deal, vouching for someone, what would you say your social credit score would be? Do you think people would say, yes, borrow him or her the money because he or she will pay it back? Or yes, you can run a finance deal with him or her because he or she will keep to the payments? Or do you think you have a good word, a good vouch that someone can say, based off your recommendation, based off your vouch, I will do it because they trust your word that much? This is your social credit score. Now let me talk about why your social credit score is so important. The reason why your social credit score is so important is because you have run up your official credit score, or for some reason you have a bad official credit score. The thing you're going to have to rely on is your social credit, because you're going to need money from your peers. You're going to need deals from your peers. You're going to need help from your peers and their peers, from your friends and their friends and friends of friends and friends of friends and friends of friends. So it's important that your social credit score is on point. It's ultimately about being someone of trust, being someone who stands by their word, being someone who does the things that they say they're going to do. This is how you have a good social credit score. And why it's so important is because for me especially, talking about myself, when I built this barbershop, I had basically run out of credit. I couldn't get any more credit, from official services. The banks weren't going to lend me any more money. I couldn't just do anything more. I had rinsed it out. I had maxed out everything, guys, maxed out. So I had to rely on friends of friends, my peers. I had to rely on my social credit, and it came in. I asked friends for money. I had friends who asked other people on my behalf for money because they trusted that I would pay back. This is what a good social credit score does for you. And now let me give you actual real examples with real figures as to how I got help. I'll give you one thing. I'll tell you a couple. When I built this shop, I needed money. As I said, maxed out all my credit with official credit sources. So I went to friends and friends of friends and peers. I asked someone for money as an example, right? He was a friend of mine. I gave him a deal. I said, look, if you borrow me £11,000, I'll pay it back to you in, I think it was 4 to 5 weeks. I gave him a date. And I said, and I'll give you back 1,100. Now, the reason why I give you guys real figures is because I'm not trying to be vague about things. I want to be very open and honest with you. So I tell you figures. If it's £50, if it's £500,000, whatever it is, I just want to be very real with you guys. So I borrowed £11,000 off him. I said, cool, I will pay you back 1,100 on top of that money in 4 to 5 weeks. We agreed a deal, right? Because I had some money coming in from a company, but I needed the money now because I had to pay builders and I had to pay, lease or whatever it was I needed. I even gave him an agreement which just said the date and the amount I was going to pay him back. It came to that date. I remember it was a Monday, and I remember telling him either the Monday or the Sunday, I can't remember when it was, but saying, you know what, I basically have majority of your money, but I don't have the full money. So I'm definitely going to have it within the next 2 days. And I apologize. And I said, I'm sorry. I didn't want it to be like this. I'm really, really sorry. And what I'm going to do is in 2 days, when I give you your money, I will give you compensation on top of that. Now, he didn't respond to me. But on the Wednesday morning, I gave him the full money, which was the £11,000 plus the 1,100 plus a £200 compensation to say, sorry that I paid it late. So basically in time, I basically paid him back about, 32 hours late. But I gave him that compensation, which he said thank you for. He received it, he took it. But the reason why I gave that compensation is because I had broken our agreement. I said Monday the money was going to come back, but it came back on Wednesday. So I compensated him so that my social credit would stay intact. I don't want him looking at me saying I'm someone who doesn't keep my word. So I compensated him on top of that. He was happy with that. And you know why that was so beneficial in this situation? Because towards the end of this whole situation I was in, I needed another loan to get me through. I needed another loan. And I asked this person again, and he gave me £5,000. And this time he actually said he wasn't going to charge me any interest. And this is the importance of social credit, because just like official credit, if you break your terms and agreements that you've agreed to, you put a dent in your credit history. Because I paid him back his full money and gave him something on top, he knew I was serious about payments. I was serious about keeping to my word. And he knew that I wasn't someone who wanted to break that. And that's why I gave him the extra. And he helped me out later on again and charged me no interest. And when I said I was going to give it back to him, which was the end of February, just gone, I gave it back to him probably about a week and a half before that. Social credit. So that's one aspect of social credit, which comes to borrowing money. And understand, guys, that when you break these things and you don't pay people back, that could be £1, that could be £10, that could be £100, that could be £1,000. You are putting a dent in your social credit. It goes around. On that topic, you know how many people have asked me about other people? Is this person trustworthy? This person has asked me for money. Should I give it to him? Or should I give it to her? Well, to be fair, most of the time it would always be, in my situation, it's always someone asking about another man. Like, should I give it to him? And based on your credit history, what my dealings with you are, I will tell him, which will be, no, I don't think you should, because, or I won't say I don't think you should. What I always say is, look, I've had dealings with him and he didn't pay me back this money. Or he paid me back, but he paid me back late. This is social credit. This is what is happening right now. I'm telling them about your credit history, and this is why it's important. Like, there are people who've asked me about other people and they will never know that the reason why they never got, whether it's this loan or this deal or whatever it is because of your bad credit. Because when someone asks me about you, I couldn't vouch for you because you have bad credit history with me and with other people I know. Another form of social credit, guys, is basically being a middleman. I've done one which is just borrowing money of people, lending money to people. One is being a middleman or a middlewoman. Being a middleman is the term. I'll tell you a situation I was in before. Somebody asked me for money years back. Someone asked me for money and I didn't have the money. They asked me for money because they needed it for something. I didn't have the money. They said to me, could you ask this other person who I know for this money? I said, cool, I asked them for the money. I asked them for the money. They said to me, will the person pay it back? All that kind of stuff. I said, yeah, the person get paid back because I was vouching for that person. They said it's going to come back, whatever the time. Let's say they said it's going to come back in a week, a month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever the case is. They said it was going to come back at a certain date. It never came back. Now, I never made any money from this deal. I wasn't making any money from this deal. I was just helping someone out. So anyway, this person gave the money to that person, gave the money to me, I gave the money to that person. The time came, they never paid it back. I asked them about it. They said, oh, do you know what? It's coming, something, this happened, that happened, whatever. Months have gone by now, asked them about it, nothing happened. Months have gone by, it's like, wow, okay, this money's not coming back. So because I was the middleman in that deal, even though I made no money from it, I had to pay back this person the money. I didn't have the money to pay them back, so I had to set up an agreement where I was paying this person back weekly. I paid this person back weekly £100 a week until it was paid off. I can tell you the amount was £5,000. So for every week, I paid this person £100 until it's paid off, which took about like a year. That is also an aspect of social credit, because I vouch for this person lent the money to this person on my vouch. I was the middleman, which meant that if this person doesn't pay, which they didn't at that time, it meant that I had to sort it out. It wasn't for him to go to that person and sort it out. It wasn't for him to wait for that person to pay him back. It was for me to take it on board and sort out the situation. So I paid back the person, which was good for my social credit, because it meant that this person knows that if I vouch for someone, if I get involved in a deal like that, then I will always sort it out. This is one aspect of social credit. If you're going to be the middleman in a deal, then make sure that you really trust that other person, or you are willing to sort out and resolve the situation if said parties does not. That's another aspect of social credit. Too many people often get involved in deals, and then when it goes all pear-shaped, they're nowhere to be seen. And funny enough, most of the time, middlemen are always getting paid. I didn't get paid. Like, I didn't get paid any money. I wasn't making no money from it at all. But if you're going to be a middleman, then make sure you understand what being a middleman is and the responsibilities behind being a middleman, because this will add to your social credit. Another aspect of social credit is simply, which is the same as really borrowing money, it's just financing. The same as official companies, financing. I will sell you my bike. You can pay me back. You can pay me £50 a week for the next 6 months, and that'll be your bike. You take the bike now and you pay it back. Make sure you make those payments when you say you're going to make those payments, and keep to the payments. Because if you don't, you will put a dent in your social credit. All of these things ultimately come down to keeping to your word. And it's so important, because when official credit agencies can't help you, you're going to have to rely on your social credit. And this takes us back in the days, you know, the Caribbeans used to have, and I guess they still have it, but the Caribbeans used to have a system, and I guess they still have this system called a pardoner. What it would be is a group of people would come together, and let me go back one step. The reason why as well, why they had to do pardoners as well, is because also it would have been very hard for someone in the 70s and the 60s to get credit. So the community came together and they said, you know what, we will help each other out. This is a form of social credit. So it was 10 of us come together and we're all going to put in £100 every month, which means that every month someone gets £1,000. So that means the first person takes £1,000, but they keep putting in £100 every month for the next 10 months. And every single month, someone takes £1,000. And it was a way that everybody could get a lump sum of money and do something with it. Because this is before as well, you can go and get finance from, you know, the bed, you know, from the mattress company or the bed company or the car company. So people came together in a social credit kind of system and said, okay, you know what, we'll just help each other out. If that first person takes their £1,000 and then decides that they're not putting any more money in, they have blacklisted themselves. And in the community, it would go around, because that is their form of social credit. You would blacklist yourself on a different level. Like, it wouldn't be good. And then if you were to actually keep to it, it was good for your social credit history. People trust you. They say, yep, you took the money first, and he or she kept on paying till their last payment. It works good in your favor, because when you want to enter another partner with someone else, when someone says, you know what, can I trust that person? They say, yeah. He or she's good. Social credit is important, guys. It's so important. And so many of us are failing because we have bad social credit. We think that it's okay to borrow money and not pay back. We think that it's okay to duck out of situations even though we're the ones who organized it. We think it's okay to, to make a couple payments to someone and not fully pay them. Or we think it's okay to be like, it's only £10. You know, why is this person sweating me for? It's only £10. And that's one of my biggest frustrations. People who say it's only, don't say it's only, pay back. People get frustrated with other people because they're like, this person, you know, is bothering me over the £5 I owe him or her. You know, why is she bothering me? Why is he bothering me? If you borrow money off someone, pay them back. You wouldn't be in a situation to have this person bothering you if you just paid them back. Stick to what you said, your agreements. Your social credit matters. And in building up this whole shop and in my business, I've taken out so much credit among peers that it showed me how important social credit was. And if I didn't have my good social credit, then this business would not be here today. Because when I maxed out all of my credit with quote unquote official credit agencies, it was my peers and peers of peers that I relied on. So guys, it's a serious message. Do not stain your social credit. Every move you make, every agreement that you break affects and puts a dent in your social credit. So start thinking about that, and in all your agreements, start fulfilling those agreements. Thank you for tuning into another episode of SliderCuts, Shaping Up Culture, Social Credit. What is your social credit score? If you have enjoyed this episode of Shaping Up Culture, then please leave a comment underneath letting me know that. If there's any topic you'd like me to talk on, then please leave a comment underneath and I will try my best to get around it. If you like this video or you feel this video will be helpful for someone, then like it, and please, 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 please share this video with that person. Don't forget to click subscribe so you can keep up to date with all the videos I'm doing. I do these videos all the time. Also, I do haircut tutorials and so much more. So click subscribe, like, share, and leave your comments. And I'll see you guys on the next episode of SliderCuts, Shaping Up Culture. Peace.